What's up guys? Today I want to talk about Amazon FBA fees. So all the fees associated with selling a product on Amazon. So that way you could go ahead, figure out what your margins would be exactly before you start selling a product on Amazon. Just because that's so important to figure out what you'd be making on Amazon before making the huge investment of buying product in bulk and getting that shipped over from China and everything like that. So hopefully this video will be super helpful for figuring out what your exact bottom line will look like and all the fees associated with selling a product on Amazon FBA. Before we get started, I just want to welcome in anybody new to this channel. My name is Camron James. I've been selling on Amazon for over 3 years now. First year, did over $1.3 million in sales, which was a crazy and wild ride. But if you guys want to stay up to date with any new Amazon strategies, with my Amazon FBA journey, everything I learned in this space, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. That way you do not miss a thing. Otherwise, guys, let's just get right into it. So to start off and just give you a quick rundown of all the fees associated with selling a product in Amazon FBA. So this will be for products that are in Amazon's FBA warehouse and you're selling them on their platform. So the first one is the FBA fees themselves. So this is the fee that Amazon charges you when they ship your product out to a customer. Just like a normal package would be and how your rates are determined at your local UPS store. Same thing here, your fees will be determined on the size and the weight of your packaging. So the second fee associated with Amazon is what they call a referral fee. So this is the fee that they're just charging you for using their platform, and they're saying, hey, we have 112 million Prime members that are buying your product or potentially seeing your product. We're just going to take a little bit off the top for using our service, using our website, and everything like that. So this referral fee depends on the category of your product, which we'll get into a little later here. The next fee is your subscription fee. So there's two different plans when you start an account. The first plan is the individual account, which is free. The professional plan has a cost associated on a per month basis there, which we'll get into that cost as well. And the last thing you'll be charged when using Amazon FBA will be the storage fees. So this is the fee for storing your product in their Amazon warehouse over time. And of course, every month there's a fee associated with that based on how much volume you have in their inventory in their warehouse. So I'm going to go through every single one of these today, go through, what categories, which, fees associated with, what size of the package, all that good stuff. And at the end, also show you a quick, easy way to calculate your profit based on all these variables at once. So let's dive into my screen and let's talk about Amazon FBA fees first. And so you can see here, this is just, seller forums. Is actually, hosted by Amazon themselves. And so anything, you're looking for Amazon, what I do is just Google it. So if I'm looking for FBA fulfillment fees, I'm just going to put in Seller Central Amazon FBA fulfillment fees, and you should see this blog come up for the first search result. Same thing for anything else you need in Amazon. It's exactly how I type it in. Just put Seller Central and whatever I'm looking for right after that. So let's go over FBA fees here, guys, so you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. So the first thing you should know is that there's standard size product tiers. So these are your normal packaging, things that aren't long or tall or super heavy or super bulky, anything like that will fit into here. So this will be about, I want to say 80% of products on Amazon. It's kind of just a guesstimate, but most products on Amazon are in the standard size tier. So we can see there's two charts here. This one's for non-apparel items. This one's for apparel items. So this is for clothing. This won't apply to most people, but if this does, just use this chart instead. But we can see here for small standard size, 10 ounces or less, this small standard size is determined by the dimensions of the product. And of course, weight is affected by it as well. We see here, same dimensions of the product, just a heavier weight has a higher fee. So it goes from 250 to 263. A large standard size will be a different dimension, 10 ounces or less, 331. Then you can see it just keeps going up and up and up. A large standard size with a higher weight, higher weight, higher weight, and the fees just go up from there. So this, again, guys, this is the fee for them to ship your product to the customer after they order on Amazon. And we can see here if it gets super heavy, they actually charge a little extra per pound above the first 3 pounds here. This won't apply to most people, but it's something to be aware about. If you got like a small good that's just really super heavy, something to take a look at right there. Let's before we go over what the dimensions are for each standard size, let's talk about the oversize. So this is for the big, think washing machines, or think things are like super long and super skinny, or just really big and heavy in general. This is where they fit in right here. So small, oversized, 71 pounds or less. So that's kind of what we're getting ourselves into is those types of products. You'll see an $8.26 fee with 38 cents per pound after the first 2 pounds. And then it goes medium, oversized, large oversized, and then special oversized. This would probably be your washing machines and everything like that that fit into that. It's pretty rare you get in that category, but no, if you get over a certain size, a certain dimension, a certain weight, you'll be put into oversized, which just have higher fees. And this is why it's important when you're doing product research to be looking for products that are on the smaller side, so you don't, run into, bigger fees here. Sometimes the items are still worth it if they have a high price point, but it's just, again, something you should know about. Let's talk about small standard size and the large standard size and all those size tiers a little bit more. That way you guys know exactly what the dimensions are for these. All I have to do is click this product size tiers right here, and it's going to take you to the size tiers so we can figure out what exactly the dimensions are. For standard size here, we can see these are the dimensions we have to keep our product under. So the first one is 18 inches on its longest side. The next one is 14 inches on its median side, and then 8 inches on its shorter side. When you ride these lines, really close to here, like 17.8 or 13.8, they go back and forth. So we deal with this all the time with our products that are really close to the limit. One order, one shipment in, they'll be in the lesser tier, we'll pay less for FBA fees. And then the next order, some employee will measure it over 18 inches, and then we're paying a higher fee. So we have to continually just talk back and forth and tell them like, hey, you're overcharging us. And this is just a huge hassle. So if you can, of course, this is not always doable, but if you can, try to keep it like under, 1 inch of this, of each side. That way you're not riding that line and you don't have these hassles. But again, you're at the mercy of the product size itself. That's what qualifies you for standard size. And again, this will be about 80% of products on Amazon, and probably the category you'll be falling into there. So we can go down here as well. We can look into small standard size, large standard size, oversized, and figure out what qualifies each of these categories. And so we can see a small standard size, it's 15 inches for its longest side, 12 inches for the median, 0.75 on the shortest side. So this is for like a thin package, right? Large standard size, this is exactly what we just talked about above there. So 18 inches, 14 inches, and then 8 inches on each side. Small oversized, 60 inches, 30 inches, and then they just don't care for this one. But again, I try to avoid oversized when I can anyways. And if you have a bigger product, I just try to make it as small as possible, and then you're at the mercy of this anyway. So I don't read too much into this. So if you're trying to figure out where your product falls at, this is exactly how to do that, guys, for the FBA fees to determine what you'll be paying. Again, you could just hit back here, after figuring out what your dimensions are, which category you fit in, and you can see where you fall. Maybe it's 490 here, maybe you're oversized down here. You're going to be 1137 plus 0.39 per pound after that. So cool, I hope that makes sense. Let's talk about referral fees. That way you know exactly what's going on there. I guess we could just take care of this one real quick since we're already on this page. So monthly subscription fee, you can see right here, professional selling plan is $39.99 per month. So this is a per month to have this plan. So the professional selling plan is where you can do the PPC, where they're not going to charge you per item sold, and essentially is for the bigger sellers on Amazon. If you're just getting started, you can do the individual selling plan. No subscription fee here, but the issue is you can see right over here that individual sellers will pay 99 cents fee for each item sold, which is annoying. So if you're selling over 40 products, essentially the professional plan is going to be the best for you. So let's just roll into referral fees. It's all on the same page here. So each category will have a different referral fee on Amazon. So the best way to figure out where you fit is just to go down here, figure out where your product would fall. If it's a kitchen good, if it's in music, if it's in outdoors, then you can see right here what that referral fee would be. So if let's say we have office products right here, so 15%, say it's a $100 product, we're going to pay $15 to Amazon for each product sold on top of the FBA fee. So again, this is just the fee for them saying, use our huge customer base, use our platform, we'll do the marketing. We're just going to take a little bit off the top. So this is why I'm doing this video, because some people don't know about this and don't understand what Amazon's going to take. So you have to factor this in when you're doing your product research, when you're talking to manufacturers, and to figure out what your bottom line will be. So you'll see right here, most categories will have 15%. Usually, the categories that, private label sellers or small sellers like, me and you will be in will have 15%. Otherwise, just if you're in a special category, just go quickly over here, take a look. So you can see there's some special tiers for, beauty, or if we go up to baby, 8% for products with total sales price of $10 or less, 15 above $10. All this over here is just saying that if your product is so low priced, even if 15% takes you under 30 cents, we're still going to charge you 30 cents anyway. So this really doesn't matter unless you have a super low cost product. But it's as simple as that, guys. It's a straight fee of a percentage unless you're in a special category. So hopefully that makes sense there. So let's do a quick recap of what we've gone through so far. And so when someone buys your product and they ship it to them, you're going to have the FBA fees. So that is determined by your size and weight of the product, and they'll take that as soon as someone orders it and they ship it out. Next is the referral fee. So same thing, when someone orders your product, they're going to take 15% off the top of the price point right away. And then on top of that, just monthly is the subscription fee. So if you're in the professional plan, it's $39.99 per month. So you're just going to pay that per month, regardless of what you sell on Amazon. And now finally, we have storage fees. So this again is a monthly thing. This is not when someone orders. This is dependent on how much volume you have in their storage facilities. It's honestly not that expensive. Besides Q4, their really busy season, it's really just there to protect them from you housing all your crappy goods there that you're not moving or you're not even trying to sell, you're just storing there. So you just have to keep that in account when you have tons of inventory in there. So this one's actually pretty easy to calculate. It's not as hard as you think. So months, January through September, so Q1 through Q3, it's 75 cents per cubic foot, standard size. The cool thing is when you have your Seller Central account, you can literally go to your inventory page and they will tell you how much cubic feet you have in storage at that time. So you can literally just do the multiplication to figure out how much your monthly fees would be. Oversized, just because there's gonna be more volume. With oversized goods, it's actually a little cheaper, so 48 cents per cubic foot. Then October through December, this is Q4. So this is where you have to be really careful, and probably the biggest reason I even bring this up for fees, because usually they don't account for much of what you're paying when it comes to Amazon fees, except in Q4. So October through December, they're going to charge you $2.40 per cubic foot. So about 3 times more there. It's actually a little bit more than 3 times there. I think it's kind of crazy and I think it's stupid, but it's just something we have to work with. And they're just so busy during Q4. This is probably the only choice they had. Oversized, $1.20 per cubic foot, so it goes up about almost 3 times there, a little less. So this is important during Q4 to make sure that you run lean, right? So maybe keep some extra cartons at your house and just send in what you need. Don't be keeping all 500 or 1,000 units in inventory if you don't think you're gonna sell them within the month or two. So just keep some at home, keep some in the storage unit. And if you're a bigger seller, keep some inventory at a 3PL locally that can just send in what you need at that time. That way you're not paying extra storage fees during this Q4 season. So just one more part about this, guys. Actually it's not this, but I'll cover this real quick. Monthly inventory storage fees for dangerous goods. If you have dangerous goods, you'll have higher fees, obviously. Take a look there. But there is something called long-term storage fees. So long-term storage fees applies to units that have been stored in Amazon's fulfillment center for more than 365 days. So hopefully no one's ever fallen in this range and keeping inventory in Amazon for a whole freaking year. But it's something you guys need to know about just in case, just in case, and you don't get subject to the huge long-term storage fees that happen when you keep products in Amazon for over a year. So let's look at those real quick. So obviously these ones are a lot more expensive. So inventory that has been in the fulfillment center for more than 365 days will be charged a monthly long-term storage fee of $6.90 per cubic foot. So it's about 3 times higher than the Q4 of just regular items that you'll get charged, or 15 cents per unit. So if you have like a tiny cell phone case, this might be more expensive per unit. To kind of make sure that they're protecting themselves there. And then they have examples of product you have and what the fees would look like based on that. So just make sure you're just never in this area. You don't have to calculate this yourself just because it's just a mess. You can always do a removal order and make a plan to ship them back in if need be. There's a little trick to that, but hopefully no one's in that boat anyways. Let's talk about finally, guys, how we can calculate all these fees at one time before you actually buy your product and calculate your margins for an item. So if we go here, so this is called the Amazon Revenue Calculator. You can just Google this and use this at will. This is cool because they'll just pop up all the fees that are associated with the product you're about to sell, and you can calculate your profit margins straight up and know exactly what your bottom line will be. So let's grab a product on Amazon real quick and we can calculate the fees, and I'll show you exactly how to use it. So let's look at a lemon squeezer, one of my famous examples here. Click that. Let's grab this first guy here. He's at $9.81. And we're going to go up here to the URL. We can grab the ASIN right here. We can also go down, guys, if you can't find that ASIN, it will be right here as well. We go back to the Amazon calculator, put that ASIN in right there, hit search. It's going to ask us what product we have. We hit select on the product we're looking for. So then we type in the item price of what we're going to sell it at. So this is important too, guys. So your fulfillment is when you're doing FBM, so you're shipping it from your own warehouse or from your home. This is how you calculate the fees right here. Amazon fulfillment is when you're an FBA, like we're just talking about. So it was at $9.81 for price, super low price point here. Hopefully you have a little higher price point for the product you're selling. Ship to Amazon. So this is when you are, shipping the product into Amazon, say from your home, right? So they're going to charge you $50 to send in 5 cartons from UPS. I usually put 0 here because I ship my product straight from China to the Amazon FBA warehouse, and I pay my freight forwarder all those shipping fees straight up, and I calculate that with the price of my product, right? So I take my what the product cost itself and the shipping price and the custom fees, and that's the price of my product, landed here in the States in the Amazon warehouse. So I put 0 here, but if it applies to you, go ahead and put that in there for you. Next is average inventory units stored. So how many units per month do you think you're gonna have in stock? So this is dependent on how many you're gonna order and how many you're gonna move. So let's just say 300 for this example, or let's say 200, right? Because that applies for a lot of people who are about to start selling themselves just because of the inventory restrictions right now. And then cost of product, let's say we get this for $1. And now let's calculate this right here. And that pops up to -$12, which is not right. So I got something wrong there. And in no circumstance should it cost you $16 for storage fees for one product sold. Monthly storage cost per unit, you can see here, is 8 cents per unit. So if you have 200 in stock there, it's gonna be $16 per month, not unit. So I'm not sure what that is. So I'm gonna put that at 0, guys. Play around with that with yourself and maybe go calculate the storage fees on your own. But that's not right here. So let's hit 0 and see what comes up now. So we hit calculate it, and we see we have a profit of $3.86 per unit after the cost of the product. So that's about 40%. I guarantee, because of the volume this guy does, to be at the top spot. For Lemon Squeezer and all the reviews he has, I bet he gets this even lower. I bet it's more around 50 cents, something crazy low. And he does so much volume that that's kind of his business model, is just pushing as much product as he possibly can to make up and pump up his profit there. But you guys can play around with this too. So if you're getting quotes, if you're around $2, you can go back here and you can see, okay, 30% is a little low. Maybe I have a more premium product, so let's mess with price. So $12, and then my profit goes up to $4.72 there, about 40%. So we want to be around that 40% mark. I suggest that, and this will determine the manufacturers you're using or what type of product you're going to sell, whether high end or low end or medium end, because that will dictate your item price, and you can see all your fees associated here. So when I'm doing product research, this is one of my best friends. I'm playing around, I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, what if my product's $15? What if I bundled it? What's that going to look like? Okay, that's going to be around $7, but I got to add in the cost of the other product I'm bundling in. Is that going to change dimensions? And I get ideas flowing from this. And, of course, it all comes down to the bottom line. Amazon FBA is a cash flow business, and so your profit margin has to be there for the product to work. So I hope that makes sense, guys. Use all these tools. Figure out your fees before you buy your product because you need that margin to make Amazon FBA work, of course, right? So I hope that was helpful. Again, guys, make sure you guys comment down below if you get any questions at all, or if you've even solved this average inventory unit stored. I don't know how I'm using that wrong. This is a little new. I've actually never seen this, but if you guys figure that out, let me know in the comments down below. I'll do a little testing on that after this video. One more thing, make sure you guys go follow me on Instagram. That's CamronJames.co. I'll put the link in the description down below, but give me a follow there. I'm trying to post more about my Amazon FBA journey and just kind of the lifestyle around the business itself. Also, you can hit me in the DMs if you got any questions at all, if that works better for you. Cool, guys. Make sure you also check out my other videos on YouTube. I put a lot of work into them, and they go deeper into the subject of Amazon FBA. So I'm trying to make every single video possible about Amazon FBA. That way you can just go into the channel. If you have struggles, if you're having an issue, you can just go check out one of my other videos. Cool, guys. That's it. We'll see you on the next one.